What is a brand? What is branding? And what is brand identity? These are three terminologies that a lot of people use interchangeably, but they mean quite different things. And I'm going to be breaking them down using salt as an analogy. Now let us look at salt as a brand. The brand of a salt is flavor. In a nutshell, I dare say that there is no flavorful meal that you eat that doesn't have salt as an ingredient. Like, you literally can tell when a meal is not salted, and that tells you everything to know about salt. The taste that lingers long after you must have eaten the meal, that is the brand. And you may not remember the makeup of the meal, but you certainly do remember the flavor, how it tasted in your mouth. That is the brand. Now let's look at salt in the branding sense. The consistent usage of salt in everyday meals tells you everything you need to know about branding. Branding is a consistent act. The usage of salt is also a consistent act. Branding lies in the consistent usage of salt in everyday meals. Now let us look at salt as a brand identity. The brand identity of salt is the tangible element, or sometimes the intangible part of salt. So in this case, at least for me, I know that there are many types of salt, Himalayan, whatever. Salt, the one I'm used to, is white. It's different from sugar. Sugar is highly crystalline, salt is highly granulated, and it is white. So that defines salt as a substance, and that is the brand identity of salt. It makes a salt recognizable in the midst of many other ingredients. I hope that makes sense, but let me recap. The brand is what people are telling themselves about you based on different things that they've touched, that they've seen, or that they've been told. It's usually a feeling, a perception, or a nudge, or like an adjective, like you're bold. This brand is bold. This brand makes me feel seen. This brand is soft. This brand makes me go crazy. It gives me some sort of liberty and freedom. The brand is usually a feeling. Branding, on the other hand, is the consistent shaping of the narrative that your business or your brand is all about. For example, Red Bull is all about energy. And if you know Red Bull, you know that Red Bull is constantly doing things that makes you go wild. They are constantly associating themselves or even buying things that infuse that energy into their brand. And lastly, brand identity. Brand identity are the tangible and the intangible element of the brand that differentiates you from your competitors. In practical sense, you're talking about your logo, your visual identity, and also your verbal identity, which are your messaging, your tagline, your slogan. Sometimes there could also be elements like your audio. For example, we know Netflix to them. Sometimes it could also be the